All right. What's going
I
on? What's
can't
going
call it, man.
on?
What's going on, everybody?
It's your boy Sean.
It's your boy Troy.
Hey,
We back tapped
we
in.
tapped in. We tapped in. Hey, we appreciate you guys' comments, your feedback that we got last week from the show, man. I went back and looked at it myself. I was like, yo, man, it's a lot of gems that got dropped in that show, man.
Oh yeah. Some good stuff, man.
There's some really good stuff. So we want to thank Pastor Cornelius from Restoration Community Church. Yeah. Restoration Community Church. So we just want to say thank you. We appreciate y'all sharing it with us, and we appreciate the jewels that he dropped in. But if you're tuning in, as always, like, comment, share, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Y'all know where to find us.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button. And again, man, we keep asking y'all, give us some comments, give us some topics that y'all talking about on a daily basis that, we can share on here, man.
Oh yeah. You know I'm starting off at, man. I talk about on a daily basis.
What are you talking about?
Man, my birds, man.
Oh, hold on. Before we get into the football conversation. So last week I didn't have a chance. Shout out.
No doubt.
My guys at Blackball down at Invest Fest. So it's a black-owned golf company, and they were there. They had some really good merchandise. This is one of their kind of, mock polos, without the top, but really good quality. Got the black interlay on the inside, black stitching, really nice quality. Wanted to shout them out. Basically, story behind that was one of the guys, his grandfather played golf back in the 50s and 60s and was blackballed from a lot of tournaments.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of tournaments was at country clubs
that they couldn't have access to.
That he didn't have access to. So even though he was known as a really good golfer, he got blackballed. So, this was them paying homage to him and the things that he did.
Yeah, it got some depth to it. I like that.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
I like the storyline. And another thing too, man, before we get started, just want to send our thoughts and prayers out, man, to all the government employees, hope this thing wrap up quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I wasn't even thinking about it. Like some of the people, I didn't realize who all was getting affected, because when I'm thinking of government shutdown, I'm thinking of, people that kind of work in DC, right? I'm not thinking about the local people who actually are federally employed, federal funds.
And then the government stopped, but the bills don't stop.
Nah, it don't stop, man. It don't stop. That don't stop. Stress level goes up, so it's a lot of things that, again, prayers for a lot of things for a lot of people, whatever they need right now.
No doubt.
So yeah, for sure. Now we can talk about football a little bit.
What's that?
Man.
What we 4-0 now? Oh, yeah.
It's only two teams. It's only two teams. It's 4-0 right now.
49ers and us. And I think the Niners play tonight.
Yeah. Are they 4?
Yeah, I think the Niners. I think it's the Niners. If I'm not mistaken.
Zach Purdy earning that. Oh, he ain't even playing.
Nah.
So was he worth the money?
I might be giving him too much credit. I'm not for sure, but I think they are though.
I was gonna say they might have paid him too much money if they 4-0 and he ain't even stepped on the field yet.
Yeah. But man, listen, I hope it's not trouble in paradise, man. And I was listening, and I never looked at it from this perspective, because we know AJ, he's a competitor. He wants the ball. He wants to be involved in the game for his, contributing to the team. But of the receiver position, that money depends on
the production
as well. So now I understand it a little more too. Like, hey, I gotta touch the ball.
Yeah, he was like, you done got your money. Now I need to get some.
Yeah, I didn't even look at it from that perspective. I was like, man, if long we winning, I don't care how we getting it. But from his standpoint, and he delivers. So I think they're gonna have to draw up more plays for the brother, man.
Yeah, and then on on the heels of kind of what happened to Tyreek Hill. Yeah, this past Monday night. Prayers up to him too. Tyreek Hill. That was not a good injury for, somebody at that stage in their career. But the one thing is, he had that guaranteed money.
Oh yeah, he was smiling. I think that might be the reason he kept that smile on his face a little bit.
Yeah, because you think about if something like that happens, and then you got to try to bounce back and try to get a contract. even though you can recover, your leg might be stronger. That stigma still gonna be there that you injured that leg, and how much confidence and how much is it bothering you, and how much confidence do you have?
How much do we want to invest in?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for AJ's sake, I hope, you know what I mean, I hope y'all get him the ball so he can secure his bag.
No doubt.
I mean,
but I want to keep winning. I just want to keep winning.
Yeah.
So
speaking of winning, I'd really like to win a little bit. I really like to win a little bit. We losing all the way around. We had like 7 people go out of the game.
Man, y'all was dropping like flies, man. And then I'm not, man. I gotta go there, man. Everybody dropping like flies. Then somebody fake an injury. Good.
Come on, man. Come on,
He
out this week, man.
He sat down. They sat him. That's a corporate decision.
You think so?
Yeah.
Too many people down around him?
Yeah, too many people down. They getting to him.
They really did get to him.
I ain't never seen them get to him. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was like, he doesn't step up enough to keep his blockers in front of him. Like the way he get outside of the pocket, he leaves himself open. So they got to chase down the defender, to get in front of him. And
I agree, because I see that too. Like sometimes when he moves out of the pocket, he kind of moves laterally and back, and then he tries to move back up into the pocket.
Yeah.
And so like he moves away from it, and then they get to him, and then he try to run back into it.
Yeah, but it's broke down by them.
Yeah. So instead of, if he just kind of climbed his way up the pocket,
right, he'd get more protection
protection, and then when he did take off, it's a straight line,
right?
It's not like he got a zigzag. But we look tough. I mean, we haven't started off this way, and I think one other time we was 1-4 since Harbaugh's been there. I think this was the second year, so this is the second worst start we've had since Harbaugh's been there, or tied for the first worst start. But like defensively, we don't look the way we normally do.
And y'all got high ranked defense, man.
We got high. Top. Yeah, it's like I'm not understanding. Are we playing too much zone? Not enough man? Because it seems like we got the personnel where we can play a lot more man.
Right.
We shouldn't be getting beat deep. Yeah. Like we should be forcing teams to kind of try to run the ball on us. And if we give it up 2 or 3 yards, it's like, okay, then we need to make a stand. We can blitz third, fourth down. But I really think it's mentally. I think when we lost that first game to the Bills, not the first game. Was it the first game? Yeah, that was the first game. Yeah. We lost the first game by us. We looked so dominant in that game. I was like, yo, the NFL is in trouble.
Yeah.
And then for us to lose that game, we come back the next week, we win, we blow them out. But then the next week, another game that we should have won.
Yeah.
And end up losing that game. And I just think that that's starting to creep up mentally. Now everybody's going back to last year.
Oh, yeah.
How we did, how the year ended, turnovers.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, you can't tell me he's not thinking about turning the ball over now when he run. It's like nobody's playing free.
Yeah. And it shows. It's showing. Yeah. They playing reserve.
Yeah.
Man, somebody sent me a stat this week. My sister, she one of them boys. She one of them boys talking about they're the highest scoring offense this year. And that was actually a good game. I watched them. I watched the game the other night. No, the Cowboys. She's a Cowboys fan, man. Okay. I almost started. I can't believe I said that so fluently. I'm not. Yeah, but anyway, she's talking about they the highest scoring offense this year. And I was watching them, man. They putting up some numbers, man. The receivers look great, man. It's sad, man, that they always had that talent and just crash.
Yeah.
I mean, they played that hard game in a tie, man.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I feel like that was a waste of watching football. Like, for real, man.
Yeah, they got to do something different with that.
You wait, a waste of watching football. It has to be a winner or a loser, right? It's a waste for potential injury. Like, you mean tell me we don't put everything out on the line, and when it's all said and done, nobody won.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, and both of teams look halfway happy too. That
yeah, because both of them know what was going to happen. Yeah, I mean, let the Cowboys lose, man. They done for the year.
Yeah, it was a must win. but a tie, I guess. So
I mean,
man, what we got?
if they have, if some fans is happy with a tie, I mean,
they do anything not to lose. They feel happy just not to get that L, man. You know what I mean? Because they know they're gonna be holding them here shortly.
Right. So, man, we've been talking about privilege. So, what to you, outside of sex, what other privileges should be reserved for marriage? Like, I've thought about this a lot, and yeah, I want to know what you think.
You mean from a dating aspect to going
to becoming married?
So what should be privileges that's withheld for marriage? And
yeah.
Oh man, step one is paying them bills.
Okay,
I'm speaking from a man's perspective.
Okay. So you're not paying if you date and you're not paying none of her bills.
No, I'm not taking on that obligation to pay your bill, because when I met you, you was paying bills and you was living how you was living. So we can talk about, finances. I mean, we got to eat. I would, sponsor that if I
sponsor it.
Yeah, we take initiative. Man, might put some gas in your vehicle, but far as paying that note, nah. I think that should be reserved, man. I think that's where it could get a little murky too. That would be one thing that definitely I think
paying the car note.
Yeah, just paying the bills, man. Like, or being obligated to pay somebody, bills. Because nowadays, men or women, they look for that person that they dating to
right.
do that. Nah, that's a marriage privilege.
Okay.
For young ladies, somebody said cooking.
Cooking.
Man, yeah, I was reading the other day, somebody said cooking should be reserved for marriage. But I'm like, nah, you gotta put a demonstration in.
I mean, you want to know what you're getting, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta put a demonstration in. I know you can burn. I don't know, man. We talked about this before. Now, access to the kids. I think that's
if you have kids.
Yeah. If you have kids,
okay, yeah,
and you're dating.
You see, when I thought about that, I wasn't even thinking about people who had already had kids.
Oh, okay.
Right? I'm thinking
for
sure.
How much access you get to the kids, because you can't do that too soon.
Right.
A lot of guys are into sports and stuff like that, and let's say you got a son.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like
you're setting them up, like, for disappointment if this thing don't work out. Brought another man into his life that, something goes south with y'all, that he got this bitterness, like, he ain't really fooled me like that anyway. He was just doing it. He was just trying.
Or it's a way for them to bond, but how much access do you give them to your kids?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
without having a commitment,
without having that commitment. So that's one. I don't know. What would you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think you hit on some really good ones, man. I don't think it's your obligation. I mean, when you talk about bills, because nowadays a lot of people they'll move in together before they get married, right? Yeah. And so, I think that conversation needs to be had on who's responsible for what, right? Yeah. And so in that case, and this could be a hot topic, but if you're not married, is it really the man's responsibility to pay for the rent or the mortgage of where y'all staying at if you're not married, if there's no commitment there? Or should that be left to, okay, when you get married, it's like, okay, now this is your responsibility. Like, are you setting the tone for of what the expectation level is?
I don't know, man. I see somebody said the other day, they call it financial dating. They say now they doing financial dating. Then a joker came under the comments and he said, y'all found some creative ways to say prostitution.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, it's interesting to think about it, because when you think about things that are typically saved for marriage, like sex always comes up to the top.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then is it, I mean, you want to give them access to you, even though they're not marrying your family. You want your family to meet them.
Right.
Right. You want to see if there's a gel there, or if there's a rub there. Not saying that that's going to make or break what kind of relationship you end up, what kind of marriage you end up having.
Right.
But, sometimes it could be something that somebody pick up on that maybe you're not paying any attention to, and they might mention it to you just in passing, like, hey, might want to, ask about this or think about this.
Right.
Because a lot of times they're older, they've been through life, they've had experiences, and that might be something that's sticking out to them. So that's something I think. I don't know, man. Now when it comes down to that, the one thing that does concern me is like when the mom or the dad get too close.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Because then it make it hard for the actual person in the relationship, because like now they feel like their parents are so invested into it.
Yeah,
like they letting them down and they don't even want to be with this person no more.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that access should be
limited. Yeah.
Limited.
So you don't think they should come to all the family functions and family unions and all that good stuff? And you're not gonna be a permanent.
Yeah. You can we can come chill, we can come meet each other's family and stuff, but now you calling, my mom,
yeah,
my dad, pop.
Early in the game.
Yeah,
hey, mom, I don't know if you're gonna be here next week. Like, come on, man.
right. My cousin still gotta stop before you say your name. Make sure he's saying the right name.
Yeah,
like, we gotta get you seasoned in here first.
So look, while we on this topic, man, that's a good topic. So let's say that happened. They bring them to the family reunion. You cool, man. Y'all, the fellas decide to go to a couple basketball games. Let's say it's your cousin, and you meet her boyfriend at the time. She brought him around for a year or so. They break up. Do you gotta break up with them?
Oh man, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, do you gotta break up with them?
That's a tough one, man. Because you might generally like rock with this person.
Yeah,
and that's not your fault. So like.
But now she got to bring the new person around,
right? I think you got to be respectful of her in that new relationship, right? You can't be bringing a homeboy around.
But that's bro now.
Yeah, but that's respect, man.
Yeah,
it's just a respect thing. You just don't do it. Me and him can hang out, anywhere we want to,
right?
As long as she's not gonna be around.
But that goes to what you said. That's why you don't give them too much access to the family, because we're welcoming people, man. We're gonna welcome you in. You're gonna come to our home, the house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. That's a sticky situation.
Yeah, so. It is. It's crazy because like the more I'm talking about it, so many of these things is the opposite of what I did. Yeah, man. I was all at the family functions, and but we was young. We were young at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was different, but I think about a lot of times when we're having these conversations, it's more of a guide to the younger generation that's just getting started and trying to figure things out. Like, how should we? So I'm speaking to it from a different vantage point than from them. Somebody who's in college, just getting out of college, maybe not been in a lot of relationships, or maybe been in relationships that was a little bit toxic. And they just trying to figure out like, hey, how much was too much? What should I do? And as a so I'm kind of speaking as a friend and as a parent on the other side, looking and saying, okay, well, these are the things that you might want to consider investing too much in before you know that this is the person.
I just thought of one too, even because, I've been married a long time. My wife always know my whereabouts. She's gonna know how I'm moving, where I'm moving to. I'm gonna give you an estimated time. I might get long-winded to stay a little longer, but you're gonna know kind of where I have going on. If we're just dating, I don't think you get that. No. Don't be asking me a lot of questions, and it could be a red flag.
Don't tell me download this app. So.
Oh no, yeah, you ain't tracking me, none of that. Nah.
But sometimes they do it without permission now.
And that could be a red flag, though, especially from guys.
Yeah.
If they ask you too many questions, like, you know, if my daughter was dating a young man and he always wanted to, oh, where you going now? Where you doing this? That's a little too.
Yeah. Who all gonna be there?
Yeah.
How long you gonna be?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
You don't get that privilege right off the gate.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, for sure. That's interesting because it's a lot of things that are important that you still need to hold your own identity to.
Yeah.
Or guard a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, prior to making that commitment. I think once you've gotten to the place where you're already, where he's proposed, okay, now
give a little bit more.
Yeah, now it's time for us to say, okay, how are these finances and stuff gonna work? And I think, man, really that's another reason why it's important. A lot of young people don't do it enough, but I think the strength and the independence that comes with creating the life that you want for yourself, being able to afford the place that you stay in, not relying on, because what happens is if you're in a relationship, now all of your decisions are based on the both of y'all's income, right?
Uh-huh.
Instead of you basing it, managing your own funds, your own finances, finding a place that you can afford, having a car that you can afford, being established, like on your own, being able to say, because it raises your sense of independence, but it also raises your standards for what you're willing to accept. It's like if you're not willing to get to this step on your own, or you're not working towards getting to this step,
right?
That's a means for me to be able to kind of evaluate you to see if this is what I want.
Right, exactly.
Because I could be pulling you along the way. I could be really, really pulling you, or I could be really carrying all of the weight, and this ain't even what you really want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's so many things where, society make you think you need to do things one way, but it's so much more advantage to doing it that way.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing of it is, man, staying single while you're single. Like so many single people that's living like they're married, but you don't have no type of real commitment there. Yeah. It's like, and somebody's getting the advantage out of it. One side or the other is winning in that situation, and somebody's being held back in that situation. If y'all, with me, it would have to be a period of time where we would see if this thing moving forward or not. Like if we're going to go to the next level, cool. If not, it's a wrap. Like
somebody gotta be the simp, somebody gotta be the pimp.
Simp and the pimp. Good man. Yep. But so when they finally do get married, so let's say you date, you start to unravel those, give those what you call privileges, whatnot. You in with the family. How much should be expected from the grandparents, as far as the amount of time they spend with the kids?
Like, so you married, you had kids now.
Yeah, you got kids, you got a family. How much support do you expect from the grandparents?
It's crazy, man, because my initial thought process on it. So I'm gonna speak from two different lenses, right? From a parent perspective, I don't think you should have kids with even the thought of how much of a role your parents gonna play in you raising a child, right? Because you don't. It's just like if your parents aren't around, right? You can't rely. I don't think you make that decision to have kids based on the support that you think you're gonna get, because you and I both know people will say anything until the rubber hit the road, right? Yeah. So I think if you're making that decision to have kids, I don't think you should put any expectation level on the parent, because it was your decision to make.
That's true, but people are raised with the mindset of village. This is your village. Right. This is, what I mean? We got your back. And not saying that you're going to just throw your kids off on them, but is it reasonable to expect that, hey, we need some downtime, or I got work late? Is it reasonable to expect?
I think it's for the parents,
for the grandparents.
I think it's reasonable. I think what's more reasonable is how much time is the grandparent willing to put in.
Man, grandparents young nowadays. Grandparents is 38 nowadays. 40, man. Grandparents going to the club, man.
Hey, that's
you can't eat. Man, listen, we was blessed, man. Man, my boys was young. I'm talking about we could get a phone call Saturday night, 9:00. I said, hey, man, we go shooting over here. Man, we had like 3 or 4 different people we could call and say, hey, matter of fact, we bringing the boys over. You know, I said, did they eat?
right.
Boom. And man, that was a blessing, man.
That is a blessing, man, to have. And it's like if I had grandchildren, I mean, that's probably how my house would be, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd be just, bring them over. You know, they ate, they haven't ate.
Yeah.
Just, let's go. You bring in clothes, they stay in the night, you pick them up in the morning. Like, that's the conversation. But you can't, that's what I would want to give, right?
Right.
And that would even come probably to an extent to some point where, again, that could lead into somebody feeling privileged.
Yeah.
That they have the right. It's like, no, this is, you know what I mean? You have the right to ask. I don't have to say yes.
Right.
I'm choosing to, but I would have an issue when it got to the point where I felt like it became a privilege thing.
Yeah.
Right. As a grandparent. But I don't think somebody can get mad. And it's just me. The way that I think, I don't think you can get mad if your parents don't want to do that because they're not.
Okay.
It says more about the grandparents and where they at. But
the amount of help you give might determine if you go in that nursing home or not.
That is true.
That might determine if you go in that nursing home or not. They say, hey, they ain't never did nothing for me. They weren't there for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to think,
you get what you give.
Yeah, you get what you
get what you give. And that, I mean, that is an interesting perspective to it because these are the same people that's going to be taking care of you, you know, as you age, or you're going to rely on them to help you out. But I don't think it should be done out of that. I don't think you're
that obligated.
I don't think your decision to take in your grandkids should be based off of how's my kids gonna take care of me in 20 years from now. You know, because you give your kids everything, you know, like for us, I know we try to give our kids everything that we didn't have, everything that we had. You know, we try to guide them as far as monetarily, but more so, you know, spiritually, wisdom wise, we try to give them everything. And along with that comes support when, you know, you have kids.
Right.
But again, I don't feel like it should get to a point where you feel like it's a privilege. Like I should, my parents should at least have and this is, let me finish that thought. My parents should at least get my kids 2 weekends out of the month. It's like, you can't.
That's entitlement. That's entitlement.
That's privilege and entitlement. And this comes from somebody. When I grew up, every weekend, weekend I was at my grandma's house. Right. But every weekend I was there because she wanted me there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my parents, what do you think they wanted?
But
they wanted me to be.
But that's the shift though, because now I think that's where a lot of the, I guess, resentment and contention come in at now, because people are looking at back in the day when all the cousins was at my mom's house. Everybody, we pulled up. We just pulled up.
Right.
It wasn't an issue. You know what I mean? My mom was home. Now it's like, you got, man, pretty much beg. Well, some people are in that, predicament. I know my grandbaby, all my son got to do is pick up the phone and come on. It's not even an issue.
Right.
My wife got everything set up right at the house for her. Come on. Yeah, anytime.
Don't cancel your plans.
Yeah, cancel my plans for her. So,
yeah.
But everybody don't have that support system, man. And then it's a learning lesson, man. You get a lot of wisdom, a lot of jewels, man, from being around, the elders, man, and stuff like that. So I think some kids are getting robbed from that by not being, present with the grandparents, spending that quality time with them.
So I'm gonna get off subject on this, because this is something that's somewhat new for you, and you just kind of on the tail end of raising your kids, right?
Uh-huh.
And You got a grandbaby coming that's coming over to the house and you spending time with. What's your perspective like? How's your perspective changed when she's around raising her, and how you interact with her, the time that you spend with her?
Man, that's amazing. It's changed a whole lot, man. I mean, and you know, with the grandbaby, you just look at them, you just want to spoil them, man, because you already know they going home. They going home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to really be strict on the discipline and all that. You can kind of have fun with the grandbaby. But the biggest takeaway I get from it, man, is watching my son, man, being a father and how it's changed him, man. Like, man, I see his eyes light up. He's actually a great dad to his, daughter. And man, just he's understanding things, like things that he probably didn't understand from a kid standpoint,
or son
perspective. Now that he's a father, he can identify with it, and even that tightens me in his relationship now, because he's like, okay, Dad, I see.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just, man, it's hard, just filled up with so much love now, and even the way he considered, before it was like he only had himself to consider. So now he's actually more strategic, putting things in place, and it's like, yeah, okay, he got it. I like that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, man, we talked about this a little bit before we came on air, and I kind of was like, look, man, we gotta stop, because we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this on the podcast. But I sent you a thing from TD Jakes, and he was just talking about, do you have a hustle or business? And his perspective was, a lot of people have a business, but it's more like a hustle, because if they stop working or they stop doing that thing, their income stops. So you think about like a barber. Barber's an entrepreneur. They can have an EIN number, file taxes, and all that kind of stuff. But if it's a single barber working in a barbershop, paying booth rent, if the moment he stops cutting hair, his income stops. Right. And it's like, okay. And I don't want to use that because nobody's ever thought of a barber or a cosmetologist as being a hustler. I mean, they are, because they hustle. They putting out a product every day that's bringing new clientele in. So they do. But, I think you use the example of like a food truck, somebody who has a desire to maybe have a restaurant one day, and they started off with a food truck, and, they getting up every day, they bought the food truck, they got their logo and all of those things, and business entity, and they paying taxes on it. They doing everything the right way. But, is that I don't want to say, is it a business, because it is a business, but is it more of like a hustle, or do you think it's a legit, I don't even say legit business, because it is a business, but you think it's more of like a hustle mentality, or you think it's more of a business mentality?
No, I think it's the way you market yourself, how you put out your product, how consistent you is. I think that's what makes it a business. I think what I was taking from him, TD Jakes was saying that if you have to fry the chicken, if you have to package it up, if you have to do that, it's not a business, it's a hustle. I disagree, because I feel like once you become a business entity, first of all, Uncle Sam is going to treat you like a business, because you're a business. You got it on paper. But it's levels to everything. So if you started off, like I said earlier, if you started off selling platters on Sundays out your kitchen, and now you elevate it to, you got a food truck with your logo, you're going to events, you're paying taxes on it, you're scaling up. And I think it's still levels to that. Some people don't even desire to go to the next level. Some people say, okay, this is my business, but I still have, my job over here. And that's cool. That's the way they desire to scale their business. Now, I think you can definitely scale up, but that don't make, this because somebody own 3 restaurants don't make your food truck less of a business to me.
Right. Okay. And so to me, I think it's a mindset. When I was talking before, I think I really do, because I think some people have the desire some people get a lot of ideas for a lot of different businesses, right? I think that's a hustler type of mentality, right? Because they could do it. They could start a business today, do it for a year, it not work, and then go right into another I thought or idea that they had and grind that one out. Or they might be doing this while they working a 9-to-5 job. This is a thing that the food truck that they do on the weekend or do special events and stuff like that. Like they just looking for ways. The perspective is they're looking for ways to fill in the gaps, right? So that's where kind of the hustle part of it comes in. But then I feel like you got hustlers that they do want to build a business. They do want to scale it up, right? But I think a business person, they would be fine, or somebody who wants to grow a business and has that mindset, they would be fine with taking that one singular idea and scaling it up and making it as big as possible. I think somebody with a true hustler spirit, they could do that too. But along the way, they're gonna have 3 other businesses that they're doing at the same time. But because like there's so many ideas and thoughts that they have, like they want to birth them all. You know what I mean? Yeah. They want to bring those things to light to see, hey, like I know this one is doing great, but I got like 4 other businesses that I could start. You know what I mean? Let's get them going. And then I think the other thing is the ability to bring people along on a journey, like find the right talent to come around you, get them invested into it, into one of those passions, and then scale that up with them. Like so you can still focus on your main thing. You can start these other things on the side, but you also looking for people that you can bring along for the ride, that you can get vested into it and grow those companies. I
get it. I get it. I'm either gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think you can be as successful as you think you're gonna be or want to be, even in that scaling, without the hustle. So I think you have that hustle have to be inside of you. You know what I mean? It has to be something that's innate, something that you can kind of, because it's going to be times, starting off in business, what they say, the first 5 years determine if you're going to make it or if you ain't. So it's going to take a whole lot of hustle, a whole lot of resilience and things like that. So that hustle is definitely important to the business.
It is. But I would say that with that hustle only going to take you so far. I think the passion of the business that you're doing, right? Yeah. So I think like with somebody who hustles, I think they hustle until they find that one thing that is they're passionate about, and then they put all of that, like all of that hustle, all of that grind goes into that one business, and then I think they build that thing up to be what it is. But for somebody who has, and we could go back and forth all night, but for somebody who has that hustle mentality, they're gonna come up with too many ideas, too many streams of income, to like they're gonna tap into all of those things.
We spread out,
and you spread
yourself
until you find like if one of those things click, and that's the one thing and that one particular thing is the thing that you go to bed thinking about, you get up in the morning thinking about it. It's like then you start to get that singular focus. You still have that hustle mentality, but now it's all into that.
So look, I was just thinking as we were talking, because it derived from something, you sent me that TD Jakes was saying, but we know that he's probably a successful businessman. He wrote a lot of books and stuff like that now, but he started off pastor, right? Started off in the church,
right.
That was his business. Him getting invited. So before he scaled up and became this, that was his business. So if God took his voice, would he not? It was never a bit. He was hustling then. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Was he hustling because if he didn't get up in front of the congregation, if he didn't make these appointments, if you didn't do this, now so was he a hustler or was he a businessman? That was his business, right?
Nah, he was pursuing his passion.
But he made a statement. That's why, I mean, he made that statement. He said, if you...
Yeah, but I think he did turn his passion into a business, though.
Yeah, but it's been a business. If he was operating it in the way it was supposed to be operated,
it should be in order.
It was a business.
Right.
He just scaled it up.
He did scale it up.
Yeah.
But again, he had a passion. He put all of that hustler mentality into that one passion and scaled it up to a point where, even what he was saying with the businesses, to the point now where he's walked away and his daughter and his son-in-law are the head pastors of it. And he's got pastors in all these other places and got all of these other things that he started. But he built it to a place where today he could not touch any of those buildings, go in any of those buildings, have a conversation with anybody in those buildings, and all of those things are going to go.
Right.
Like he's on
a different level of business.
Right. But that's what a business, I mean,
see,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying because some people start businesses for different things, right? Some people have a business because they have financial goals that they want to attain, or things that they want to be able to afford. And then some people's sole purpose when they build that business is to be able to sell it and walk away.
Yeah, or want a franchise,
or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it doesn't negate the person that just wants to have a business to be able to afford the lifestyle that they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't discredit.
I mean, because I was thinking about when he was saying, I was thinking about some of the Chinese food stores and stuff that even the local ones, it's ran solely by family.
Right.
I'm talking about from the time these kids was young, and now
they're the only register.
They're doing homework. And I remember saying one girl, she was doing homework in the back. Now she's on the register, but it's just been family. They didn't hire nobody outside, do anything like that. But it's a long-standing, legitimate business. They didn't start a franchise. They didn't. It is what it is, but it's a business.
Right. I got you.
I mean, it was interesting. It was just interesting, the choice of words that he was saying, because he was saying culturally that we come from a hustle mentality. And I agree with him with that, because we do. We like to hustle. But then Jada said, I got to say, but boy, you better with Jada, what he was spitting that why. He was like, why sell in the stores what you could sell in the street? Like, sometimes them hustlers, man, get into it.
But I think that mentality go deeper than that, though, man. The hustle mentality comes from, they didn't tell us how to set up the business properly, right? So if you don't teach us and you don't tell us how to set up the business, how to get the INs, you know what I mean? Like the corporate, the created corporate structure, the governmental structure. If you don't know how to do that and you haven't been taught how to do that, you're just gonna take an idea and you're just gonna go with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see that when you travel, man. I mean, you go any country you go to outside of the United States, soon you touch that soil. You got kids running up with bracelets, and that's their hustle. That's how they hustle is their business. That's how they live.
Man, that paperwork is just it's a stumbling block for me, man. I ain't worried about that paperwork.
Man. I gotta eat. Let's get this money here. Come get these watermelons, and that's how they, survive. But they get up every morning. When they do that,
man, it's crazy because the more we think about it, man, but that comes from conversation we had last week, man, being in that survival mode, like trying to take care of the right now and not looking ahead 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
You figure if you are building something and you don't feel like them, those bills or life got, the foot on your throat, you have a chance to be like, yo, what do I want this thing that I'm doing right now? What do I want it to be? Right. What do I want this business to look like in 5 years? What do I want to look like in 10 years? What do I want to look like in 20 years?
Yeah. Some people can't even think that far down the road.
But if you in a structure or in an environment where you can spend 2 hours a day thinking about where do I want this business to go? I'm 35, right? I'm not 35, y'all, but but I'm 35. My oldest is 10. and 20 years from now, I'll be 55. I could build this business to do XYZ numbers. If one of my kids wanted, they'd be in their 30s, they'd be almost my age by now. And I could have something that they could take over. They could walk into this business. I could teach them the ropes, and they're going to come into it with a different perspective, different mindset, and be able to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Because you got time, you have the luxury of being able to relax and think. But it's like from where a lot of times where we come from, we don't have
the way you broke that down.
We don't have the time.
Right. You involved, hands on.
I'm trying to make sure we eat tonight.
Yeah. Try to make sure the lights stay on at the business tonight. So you can't even take time away to really structure it and
think your way out of it. Not just and a lot of that comes from you have to be unselfish, because you got to be thinking about setting it up for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody else should be able to be able to take it further than what you want, and that comes with a mindset of his own.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's
good stuff.
It's interesting, man.
No doubt.
Good stuff.
No doubt.
All right. So trying to think, where we at?
And wonderful world of real estate, man.
Oh, yeah. So we started off talking about thoughts and prayers out to government employees and stuff. And, being in real estate, when the government shuts down, like conventional loans, Fannie and Freddie, they still like write loans and stuff. But with FHA, VA, USDA, they all have to go through a government entity in order to get, in most cases, get underwritten. Like sometimes if you got to get a VA certificate, like sometimes you can get like VA certifications if it's if they've been retired within the last 20 years, like you can just put it into the system and it's automatic.
Right.
But there's in some cases where it might have been somebody who's been out of the out of the military for 30 years. It's paper records. They got to go research it and look it up. Well, right now you can't call in and then be able to research it.
Oh man!
If somebody has a house that's in a flood zone and you need to talk to FEMA, they not in, so that house ain't gonna close. That VA loan's not gonna close.
So that's really gonna affect anybody that had potential deals on the table now. Yeah. I mean, some people won't be able to close on the property until the government shutdown is up. And so what that's going to also cause is delays, even with FHA. FHA, if they're electronically underwritten, as they can package the loan. They can even close on the loan. They just have to wait until the government opens up to be able to sell the loans, right? But if it's not electronically underwritten or approved, and somebody actually has to do it, that you're gonna have another delay there, man.
So FHA, USDA, VA loans, anybody who has those loans right now, you should be talking to your lenders to make sure that you're at a stage where you could be clear to close, or just ask them, hey, do you expect any kind of delays? Because the last thing you want is to think that you're going to be closing on next Monday morning.
Yeah. And
nobody's told you, hey, we're not going to be able to close because we can't get the final okay from FHA or VA to be able to get this loan closed. We've done everything that we can on our end, but we can't move forward until the government opens
that
back
affects
up.
Everybody. It affects, the lender. It affects the realtor. It affects, everybody that's involved in the process, man. So, man, my prayers out to everybody, man. I hope it comes to like I say, they're able to wrap it up quickly, man.
Yeah. And I'm hoping so, man. I'm hoping that there's no, some people could. That's my only concern with the shutdown is like, because usually with a government shutdown, it's usually because the House and the Senate are divided.
Yeah. They
Right.
can't come to terms.
Yeah, they can't. But usually, like the House is controlled by Democrats and the Senate is controlled by Republicans, or and really the president, when it comes down to it, can veto it and they can bring it back to him again, and they can change it and they can't do anything about it. But in this case, the House is Republicans, the Senate's Republicans, is majority Republican. It's like, well, why are we in a shutdown if y'all in control of everything?
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that it's nothing, not talking politics, but it's like, I'm hoping there's nothing where they decide to open the government back up, but with less jobs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because now that's a whole different scenario.
Yeah.
Because in the past, typically they would negotiate it. Government would open up.
Yeah.
Everybody that was employed would go back to their jobs.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, well, I'm not understanding, like, y'all controlling everything. How come why are we shut down?
Different. It feels different, man. It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not again, I'm staying away from the politics
away from
thing,
that,
but yeah, it's different, man. And it's about control, man.
Okay.
It's about controlling all the factors. But it's above my pay grade right now.
Yeah, that's above my pay grade now. But I mean, if y'all can control something, y'all get us on the algorithm. How about that?
That's it.
Get us on that algorithm popping up, getting our numbers up. So yeah, man, good conversation tonight, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Good conversation. Hopefully when we had this conversation next week, I had something good to talk about in the first segment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because I don't think my boy can be playing this week. So I don't even know who our backup quarterback is, man.
Oh man, you hadn't had to know it until now,
but on that note, did you see the headlines where Baltimore was going to take Shador?
No.
Baltimore actually wanted to draft him.
What happened?
He was like, he didn't want to go and be the backup for Lamar.
Get out of here.
Serious, man. I'm serious.
Oh, he probably figured he wasn't going to get a chance.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Play underneath Lamar.
Right. But you was going to a team that wanted to draft you.
I don't know how true that is, man.
Did Deion play for Baltimore?
I don't remember him playing for the Baltimore.
He didn't play with Ray?
I don't remember.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you think about it. It seems like everybody knows that the Browns, if they wanted him, they could have got him before they got Dylan, or whatever his name is. And then for an organization be like, yo, we want you. And if you're like, nah, I want to go somewhere where I got a chance.
But maybe at that time he thought he had some serious options.
Man, they had just picked the quarterback ahead of him. And they had, was it Gabriel? I said Dylan, but I think it's Gabriel, who they just put in the starting position. They had Flacco there.
Yeah.
And then they had the other quarterback that was already there.
Yeah, you went to be under all them where you could have just went and been number two.
Yeah, you could literally been playing this week.
Wow.
I mean, some big
opportunities, man.
Opportunities, man. Opportunities. And you never know when they're going to come. They might not look high. That's the crazy thing is sometimes this is a good gem for a lot of young people. A lot of times you might pray, hope, ask for an opportunity. And a lot of times that opportunity don't come how you think it's supposed to be wrapped.
Yeah.
And you got to be humble and be like, you know what? I'm going to just say yes to this opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't know what's being orchestrated a year from now or 2 years from now.
I seen it work plenty of time, man. God is amazing, man. When his math is just not like ours.
He set you up.
He set you up.
All he wants you to do is to say yes to this opportunity. Then just get out of the let me work. Watch me work.
And if you take advantage of an opportunity, if it doesn't work out, the worst thing that can happen, you learn.
Yeah.
You learn something.
Yeah, it's always a lesson.
Yeah, you learn something.
It's always a lesson.
No doubt.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all. for tapping in with us. Again, follow us Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like, comment, share. We appreciate y'all tapping in.
No doubt. Peace.
Peace.